Hello, thank you for having me here today. I'm excited to share what we've been learning about high-impact tutoring. The pandemic has impacted students. As you can see from the graph, across a wide range of schools, this is data from 1,400 schools in 41 states, students lost substantial ground relative to students in the same grade the prior year. This reduction in learning is evident across grade levels and has had a particularly severe impact on low-income students and students of color. So what can we do? Rarely in research do we have so much evidence pointing to the promise of specific tutoring models. Researchers have performed over 150 random control trials. These are systematic studies of program effects that do a great job of isolating the true effect of the program on student learning. The studies show positive effects of tutoring across grade levels and across subject areas, with effects in most cases ranging from an additional half a year to more than a year of learning over one academic year of tutoring. Often these results are based on studies of students who are far behind grade level. Tutoring turns out to be a really effective way of accelerating learning for those with substantial unfinished learning. Not only has tutoring been shown to be effective, it's also more effective than almost any other intervention that has been tested. Its effectiveness in many ways is not surprising, given that tutoring can target the specific needs of each student, and tutoring from a consistent tutor can help students develop close adult-student relationships, which can improve their engagement in school and their overall well-being. In fact, tutoring is often the intervention of choice for those who can afford it. About $42 billion were spent on tutoring in the US last year alone, benefiting many students, but certainly increasing inequalities in access to educational opportunities. In addition to the clear benefits for students, tutoring can also benefit the tutors and the teacher pipeline. Tutoring can be an on-ramp to the teaching profession, creating a hands-on experience to help tutors understand whether teaching is a good fit for them as a career. In addition, if tutors are recruited from the local community or the local college, tutoring can be a pipeline, providing an opportunity for the teacher workforce to more closely reflect the students being served. While tutoring has shown impressive results across a range of schools and students, implementing tutoring takes work. The biggest barriers in the past have been scheduling tutoring into already existing school schedules, funding, and having enough information to make it easy for districts to adopt tutoring with quality. However, we're finding through our work with districts implementing high-impact tutoring that we have a particular window of opportunity right now. With schools already being disrupted and focused on finding solutions, school leaders are searching for and considering new options, including adjusting schedules. Funding is also far easier, at least for the next few years, since a portion of the COVID relief funding in ARPA must be spent to address learning loss with evidence-based interventions. And tutoring is clearly an evidence-based practice, so new funding will be available for it. Finally, recent research has allowed us to better understand what drives impact in tutoring, so we have a much clearer understanding of best practices and are working towards tools and capacity to scale tutoring with quality. We have a better sense of the infrastructure and policy needs to ensure quality in tutoring. This may be the best opportunity that we'll have to get this proven intervention built into schools for the long run, to provide all students in need with high-impact tutoring to supplement their classroom work and as part of core instruction. However, as we know, people define tutoring in many ways, and not all of those approaches are effective. In fact, during No Child Left Behind, parents whose children were in schools failing to meet adequate yearly progress for 2 or more years were able to sign their children up for tutoring outside of school. This may seem like a good idea, but it was not particularly effective or equitable. Only about 23% of eligible students participated, and for those students, the average impact was close to 0. However, tutoring did demonstrate some positive outcomes even during NCLB, and those effects tended to be in places with minimum dosage requirement, more structured tutoring sessions, and stronger coordination with schools. So not all tutoring is effective, but evidence does point to several critical elements for effective tutoring, what we're calling high-impact tutoring. So what is high-impact tutoring? We can take all elements of programs that have shown to have positive effects and create a framework for high-impact tutoring. In particular, we've identified seven elements that are critical. The first three are foundational elements of equity, safety, and cohesion. In terms of equity, for example, this means ensuring that students who need it most have access, and it means that tutors lead sessions with equity at the center of their instruction. These foundational elements support four model-specific elements related to the tutor, to instruction, to learning integration, and to data use. In terms of the tutor, effective programs place a high priority on developing a strong tutor-student relationship, which requires having a consistent tutor who not only has command of appropriate content knowledge, but just as importantly, is skilled at engaging students and developing positive relationships. Good programs provide oversight and coaching for tutors. This said, a wide range of people can become high-impact tutors. While teachers have proven to be particularly effective, paraprofessionals and others can also be very effective tutors. So high-impact tutoring has strong tutors who have received initial training and have ongoing coaching and evaluation. The second model-specific element is instruction. High-impact tutoring requires special attention to the amount of instruction and to the instructional materials used. Evidence shows that to be high-impact, students need to see their tutors at least 3 times per week for at least a semester, and better yet, a full school year. The quality of instruction is, of course, important as well as the quantity. Most tutors need quality instructional materials. In the best case scenario, the school is using high quality materials that tutors can use and build off of. However, if the school's curricular materials are not particularly strong or the school doesn't have time to fully engage with the tutors, a high impact tutoring program will supplement the classroom materials with other high impact, high quality materials that are aligned to state standards. The third model-specific element of high-impact tutoring is integration. How a program is integrated into a student's existing learning can drive impact. Programs that are embedded in the school day or directly before or after school are particularly effective. Primarily, this integration with schools is important because these programs have higher attendance. And importantly for equity, they are able to reach the students who need tutoring the most. Embedding tutoring in the school day also gives tutors and teachers opportunities to share information, and students more likely to see their tutors as part of their larger school experience. But this attendance in getting the students who need it the most is really critical. Finally, the fourth and last model-specific element of high-impact tutoring is data. High-impact tutoring programs use data to understand students' learning needs and to track their progress. These data can come from the school or from the teacher, or the program can do their own formative assessments to track progress and design tutoring sessions to meet the needs of individual students. Regardless of the source, what's important is the use of data to tailor instruction for the students. So high-impact tutoring programs have these 7 elements that are essential to a high-impact program. We found that it's helpful not only to describe the elements of the programs like we just did, but also to hone in on what is and what isn't high-impact tutoring. High-impact tutoring isn't irregular homework help. It is consistent instruction that develops a strong relationship between the student and the tutor and increases well-being as well as content-specific learning. High-impact tutoring is focused on acceleration so that students can build the specific skills they need for grade level work. It is not focused on remediation. It has a consistent tutor, not a different tutor at each session. It does this so that it can be relationship focused, not just focused on question resolution. Sessions are built around students' needs, informed by data on where their need is, not just homework help. Importantly, it is quite intensive, not ad hoc, with regular meetings at least 3 times per week. Finally, and this is key, it is accessible to all students in need, and as a result, doesn't rely on parents or to take it up or to pay for tutoring. While in many ways what high-impact tutoring is straightforward, and it's based on a large body of research. Implementing it, however, can take some work. So we've developed this National Student Support Accelerator to help with this work. At the accelerator, we envision a time when every student in need has access to an effective tutor who champions and ensures their learning and success. We hope to reach this vision by supporting districts, schools, nonprofits, and tutoring organizations to adopt and grow high-impact tutoring with quality. Our 3 primary strands of work are to facilitate implementation by providing tools and technical assistance for districts and tutoring providers to launch and grow high-impact tutoring, to catalyze the field of tutoring through communities of practice, research, and conducting pilot studies, and then to really engage and activate stakeholders to implement tutoring with quality. Our website, studentsupportaccelerator.org, has a variety of tools, including a toolkit for creating a high-impact tutoring program or improving existing programs. It can take you step by step through the process, including identifying needs, all the way to sample letters to send to parents and job descriptions for tutors. We also have a database of existing tutoring programs if you're looking for tutoring programs to partner with. If you are like me and love research, we also have a review of all the research on tutoring to date, and we discuss priority questions for future learning. But my guess is that in the beginning, the toolkit and our new district playbook that walks through steps of implementing high-impact tutoring will be most useful. We've organized the tools so you can be sure to implement high-impact tutoring and not less effective versions. Many of the tools are organized to fit with these 7 elements of high-impact tutoring that we just discussed. For each element, we have a range of materials, and these are just examples. For tutors, we have suggestions for a tutor recruitment strategy and for in-service training and support guidance, as well as sample job descriptions. For instruction, we have a tool for aligning the tutoring curriculum with your school's curriculum, as well as effective facilitation guidelines. For data, we have suggestions for developing a performance management plan, as well as examples of data collection tools. And for learning integration, we have suggestions for both tutor-teacher communication and tutor-family communication. Overall, our goal is to simplify implementation and make it as effective as possible. Please check out our website and feel free to reach out with any questions, suggestions, or requests for support. So thank you so much for the opportunity to share what research tells us about tutoring today. This is really a critical moment to use this knowledge to support students in an equitable, effective, and cost-effective way through high-impact tutoring. Thank you.